Greetings.
What is up, Turtle Soup family? This is Ryan Guy.
And this is Eric Crosby.
And you are listening to Turtle Soup, the internet, nay, the world's only community supported podcast dedicated to the ongoing journey of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all the way from the very beginning. Until baseball opening day is not one of the best days of the year. And that just simply won't happen. So the podcast is going to go on forever and ever. My beloved Tampa Bay Rays defeated the lowly Detroit Tigers 4-0 today on the back of a strong performance from starting ace Shane McClanahan. Home runs from Jose Siri and Wander Franco. And it is going to be great. And it's the beginning of the season, and I am incredibly hyped. I'm so happy.
Awesome.
I got my Wander Franco chain.
Goodness.
Oh,
look at that
chain,
number
baby.
5.
I'm rocking it. It's amazing. Another thing that's also super amazing is that we are live on YouTube.
It's true.
So make sure you subscribe. Come check it out. Audio only. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come check it out. You know what I mean? See our beautiful smiling faces. Get on this chat. It's all good. And if you are already on there, man, share the screen. Share the screen. Yeah.
Share the screen.
You can share your scream into the void. You can also share the stream with everybody to let people know that we are live.
Yeah.
And being alive is awesome. I think we can all agree on that.
Better than
maybe
the alternative.
Sometimes not the best, but still better than the alternative.
As far as we know.
And what keeps us alive, you know what I'm saying? What keeps this podcast pumping and keeps us alive are our badass patrons over at patreon.com.
Yeah.
And for as little as $1, you know what I'm saying? You can support the podcast like our awesome patrons currently do. And the patrons that we want to shout out this even is Christopher LaFave and Robbie James.
Ooh, yeah. So thank you guys very much, and all the patrons. And if you want to be a patron, like Ryan said, little as $1, you can get to listen to some of the bonus episodes that we record. They're about 30 minutes. We've got about over 100 of them, and the newest ones aren't up yet because but they're going up. We did record them, and also you might be able to get a shirt like this.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, I'm trying to
look at our demonic faces.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
So,
what you get, 20 a month, and you get the t-shirt, you get all kind of cool stuff, and a lot of other stuff. But yeah, those bonus episodes, man, there is a treasury of I mean, at this point, years worth of our bonus episodes are up on the are up there. And if you a little as $1, you get to listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people listen to all kind of crap. You know what I'm saying? Like every day they walk on the street. Some guy's like, "Hey man, like look over there. I see an angel." And you listen to that. And you don't know if that's true or not.
You don't.
But what you're listening to today is a step in the journey.
It is.
And we make them every time. And there's only one set of footprints because we're going to carry you, baby birds.
Oh my goodness, you got it.
What step of the journey are we on today?
Ooh, well, Ryan, we are in the year 1997. I remember it fondly. It was wonderful.
Yes.
Date specific, September 26th.
Okay.
And,
let's be specific.
So something happened that day over the TV airwaves, because I think it was airwaves back then. I don't know television. I don't know electronics. I don't know how things work. But nevertheless, one way or another, most families, a lot of families, I should just say, had a box in their house in the afternoon, and things would appear in it magically. And one day, specifically September 26, 1997, a show came on called Ninja Turtles, The Next Mutation, and it featured episode 3 entitled East Meets West, part 3. I had to double check the notes to make sure.
Oh yeah, no, make sure because episode 3.
Yeah,
this is like episode weird. 102, so you don't know like what that is or what we're doing with that.
Right. So you gotta get all the numbers, all of them. They're all there, and you got to line them up, and you get East Meets West part 3 today on episode 302 of Turtle Soup Show podcast. I had to look and read the what episode it was too, because math on the mic, regardless of what you're doing,
you never know.
You never know. It's like a box of chocolates over here. So that's what we're doing today. And and if you want to read the ticker below on the YouTube and like answer some of these questions in the chat or email us with your answers, be sure to do that because that's kind of fun. So but
nice.
That's what we're doing today. How you been?
Ooh. I've been doing good. Better now that baseball's back. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
Doing a lot better now. Doing good, man. Still on the archery tip. Still doing all that.
That's cool.
I was fortunate at Target the other day. I managed to pick up Mr. Rex 1.
Oh, you got Rex.
So I got Rex
he's right
1.
there.
I mean, like, the tongue does a number on me, and
It does.
you know, I need that, you know, because let's
need
be
to go to
honest here,
Tongue Town.
like my NECA collection consists mainly of villains, you know.
Yeah.
So I need someone in here to, you know, take a bite out of crime. You know what I mean? So that's his chief purpose.
He could drop his mouth and he could take a bite of a lot of things.
Yeah, no,
So-
take a bite out of a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like most of these villains I have in front of me, like, we eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got a bull, we got an alligator. People eat that. We got a shark. People definitely eat that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about a groundhog, but I mean, like, I'm sure it's been eaten before.
Oh, of course.
And a rock soldier. So we've definitely eaten rocks.
Oh yeah.
Because we have a gallbladder for no reason, because, you know, we ate rocks back in the day.
Yeah.
And then even Ninja, you know, the Crooked Ninja Turtle gang, people have eaten people.
People have eaten people. So why shouldn't we?
That's happened before.
Did you watch my my review of Rex 1?
No, I haven't had a chance yet.
You might want to, because I try to, like, so what I do on Easy Opens, for those who don't know, I have a opening channel that I've started again after 5 years. I'm trying to use it as an outlet for, like, creative writing for these things. So it's not just like me talking about the normal fare that you'll get from a YouTuber. I'm trying to throw jokes in there as best I can, and anything I can do.
Yeah.
For that release. And I'm kind of happy with some of the stuff. I mean, it's cheesy and it's all done, like, very haphazardly, but, like, is it half or haphazard? Is it haphazard?
Yes, haphazard.
My whole life I've said haphazard. But then when I say it out loud, I'm like, well, that means I'm always doing things like haphazard, because the other half, anyway, whatever. But yeah, I'm so glad you got Rex 1. Like, he's so good. He's such a good figure. Oh man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, he's absolutely massive. I haven't taken him. I slid it out of the box earlier, and I was like, oh, let's get this guy clipped out, and I just looked at it and I'm like, oh wait, when's the podcast? No, don't have time. Slide him right back in. So he's in his you know, paper and plastic prison currently. But yeah, we'll open him up soon. But that's pretty much been me, man. What's up with what's up with you?
Oh, me? Gosh, not terribly too much, just life, and just we got shows coming up for the Paperback Whale, and we got all kinds of stuff going on. We got a market coming up that's pretty cool that is going to be at this bar, I guess that it is called, that's owned by members of Amberlin and Under Oath, which is kind of interesting. So that's going to be fun to see. But we went to the Lakeland Punk Rock Flea Market that we normally do, and we weren't vending at this one, so that was very bizarre to be somewhere where you're normally working but you're not. And we were there, and my wife was talking to somebody that she was just on their Plant or Witchy podcast or whatever it was, and as she's talking to them, I see this massive, like, just huge monolith of a man walking around. I was like, that guy looks familiar. Turns out it was Adam the Woo from YouTube fame.
Oh, and, nice. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and Shannon watches a ton of his videos. So I was like, oh shit. So I told her, I was like, we got to go talk to Adam the Woo. So she just, before I blink and she's gone, but she's still within like, you know, vocal range. So I'm like, hey, don't embarrass me. And so she's like, can't promise anything. So I'm like, okay, cool. So Ryan, we get there, and dude's a little bit like, I'm sure he gets people that recognize him because he's a pretty big YouTuber. And he's like, but regardless of that, even if you're just in a crowd and someone comes up to you, you're a little bit like apprehensive, like what's going on.
Yeah. And
so Shannon introduced herself, and then I you know, me too. And so he does this. So he puts his fist out. So so pretend like you're him. So put your fist up to the screen if you can. Do you have your fist? Okay, you got your fist.
Yeah.
So you're Adam the Woo. So he does that, and I go, okay, cool. So then Shannon, we bump fist. We just hit the knuckles.
Okay.
So your girl Shannon, so put your fist out again.
Sure.
She goes boop boop. She does the dap, like the top, bottom,
number?
and punch.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. I was dying on the inside. I was laughing so hard because I secretly wanted her to embarrass me because it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And she did so good, and it was so hilarious because I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, who does that anymore? Nobody does that. And oh my God, that killed me. But he just played along with it. But I think immediately after that, I had to save it though, because I was like, oh, this is going to be weird. So he made
Yeah.
a video real quick about so MXPX has a song called Move to Bremerton. It was like a love song, like, hey, come here, move here, and we'll live together, because that's where they lived. And they did music videos around that same time for those records, and that was one of the ones they had a video for. So he's out in that area, and he's like driving around trying to find the places in the video, and he's like, in the video, he's pretending to yell at the band, being like, why aren't, none of this is here? You wanted me to move here, and I'm here. And so I told him, I was like, oh, I loved your MXPX video. And that kind of made him like realize, you know, oh, these are fans of mine.
Yeah.
They've seen my stuff.
Yeah,
and it kind of
yeah.
made it less awkward. But yeah, it was pretty interesting meeting somebody that you've seen on the internet, like, ever. That's all.
It's pretty funny, right? Because you would have had that conversation with him, and then he's also a big baseball fan. So I would have talked to him about that. That's pretty interesting.
It is very interesting because like that's the beautiful thing about his show is that he's a hardcore, like he lives in Celebration, like, which is the Disney cult area of Florida, for those who don't know, and which is beautiful, and I think it's neat. But he lives there because he's a big Disney guy, but he's also a big baseball guy, but he's also a big music guy. So it's like, that's really cool. So you can talk to him about like all kinds of stuff, no matter where you're at. So it was really neat seeing him there. Shannon was kind of bummed because she's like, the one time that he's here and we don't have a booth, like we're not doing it.
Oh yeah.
But it was still fun, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, and yeah, other than that, just getting in the lab with the pen and the pad, trying to get this YouTube Easy Opens thing off.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm doing my Dreadmon review, which is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, Dreadmon is just, I don't know, NECA just does an amazing job, as we all know. But yeah, did you manage to get NECA Slash yet, or the Archie Slash?
No,
dude, that's another one, man. You see that? That's like, if
you, no, I mean that's an obvious grab for sure.
It's so beautiful, man. I feel like I'm gonna send you that meme of bro, you got to get this thing,
bro. Please, bro.
Me,
bro. Please. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't have to.
Oh no, I mean, I'm deaf down. I mean, yeah, as I mean, whenever my target deems, appropriate, I guess, at this point for what I'm gonna get. So it's all good.
In the reviews, though, I keep telling everybody to go read Adventures because, like, I'm like on the podcast, like we just like were blindsided by it. We loved it.
Yeah.
And it's so weird just like talking about it and then going back through it is nuts. Like seeing a bunch of stuff because I'm trying to find all the different accessories and like where they come from. Which reminds me.
Oh
this is a long shot. Just I know that you can't remember Bryan Cranston's name because of Zippy Lad and all that, but I want to see. Do you have any idea where this came from? It's a blue canister. I can't think. It came with
my grandma's sewing basket.
Right. Okay. It very well could have. But I mean, in regards to Archie Adventures, like
no, I have zero idea.
Because this came with. I want to say this came with Man Ray. Now that I'm saying it out loud, this could have been the canister of ooze that leaked.
Yeah. I think it could have been the stuff that he found at the bottom of the ocean, potentially.
Yeah, it could have been that. But if any of the Turtletarians know, let me know in the comments or email us, because I'm getting ready to start that review, and I'd like to know, because I looked through them all and I couldn't find them. But speaking of emails, Ryan, I think we got some emails, don't we?
We do. We have something old, something new. You know what I'm saying? This first one is something from the past. From Mitchell Larson, all the way back from January 27th. We were convinced we read this.
Yeah.
But I think I just read it and then was like, oh, that's an interesting email. And then I thought, oh, I think we read it on the show. But Eric assures me we have not read this. If we have read this somehow weird, then guess what? We're doing it again. I mean, I like this email.
I do too.
Reading it and going, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it makes sense based on the date it came in and the forensic evidence that Eric dropped out, that we have not read it. So Mitchell, here's your chance. I'm sorry that we forgot your email. It's entitled, I'm Back, Baby. I'm back.
There you go. Back.
This one's got some questions too.
Ooh, I like questions.
It says, hey fellas, my name is Mitchell Larson, and believe it or not, I've been listening since 2015.
Oh,
see, that's officially long time, first time is what this is.
Absolutely.
I fell off for a bit with damn university taking up my time. Back into TMNT all over again. I love what you guys are doing, chronologically going through the journey with the detail and care that you both put into it is a joy. The shredded sitcom that is Shredder's Married Life with Krang is hilarious.
I
Man,
forgot about that.
that's the one thing about that animated series is it gave us like so much meat on the bone to
It
like
did.
just make fun of things and just like spin out, and I miss that somewhat.
Yeah.
As laborious as the reviews actually were to do, they were so much time. My turtle experience started when I was a wee lad. My older cousin was super into the 87 series, and I got his hand-me-downs, toys and bed sheets. When I was lucky enough to be at my grandparents', I would watch the 2003 series on cable. Glorious.
Yeah.
And of course, the VHS of the 90 movie was a staple of my childhood and my #1 favorite film.
Yep.
I love hearing Eric's thoughts on which NECA figures to pull the trigger on.
Ooh.
You guys have been around for so long, parentheses, my first podcast along with the Weekly Planet, that I am as nostalgic for you as I am for the Turtles.
That's amazing. We made
it. That's a big compliment.
That's huge.
Yeah, no, that's huge. I mean, 2015, we weren't too far into the show, but we started in 2012, so we were only a few years into the journey at that point. It would be my esteemed honor, and this is honor is spelled the classy way.
Ooh.
O-U-R. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know
what I'm saying? To be the British Columbia correspondent of the pod, I live in Kelowna. Is how I'm going to say that. And I'm sorry, Mitchell, if I'm out. Kelowna. It's a great time to spread the soupy word before the new movie. I'm loving the Gooey Playmates feel of the logo so far. It's hard to believe it's been over 10 years since the 2012 series, and now you can't find any toys up here in Canada. Heartbreaking. I agree. That is. Mm-hmm. That is, and yes, of course, British Columbia.
Yeah.
It is your territory. I don't know if we have any BC other correspondents on the list, but if we do, then you guys, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I just wrote his name down. So I just wrote their name down. So yeah.
Okay. We gotta get it down.
Yeah.
And the last part is I've been sitting on a few questions for you boys for years now. So here goes. Apologies if they've already been asked. So there's 3 questions. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Number 1. Which turtle, if they were, would be the biggest stoner?
Oh.
Lightning round.
No,
I don't mean to brush you. I'm just saying, just, you know.
I was like, oh, quick. Well, you want to say Michelangelo because he's always about food and eating and and dude.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
That's a fine answer. It's a little on the nose.
That maybe this is what we should do. Maybe we should rank them like in order from.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna say that Mikey's probably like your best bet. Like that, chances are odds are stacked against him that he's gonna be the one. What do you think?
I agree with that. We haven't diverged yet. I put Mikey at the top. I think but once again, it's a little on the nose.
So let's sandwich this. Now, who do you think is the least likely to be?
Leo.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I was gonna
too straight and narrow. Plays by the rules way too much, man.
That's fair.
He'd be like one of those people like, well, man, like I'm not gonna let that affect my mind. I don't want a crutch. You know what I mean? Like I need like he sounds like he'd be the most like radically pure.
He's walking straight.
He's gonna walk straight. He's walking straight. Absolutely.
I was gonna say Raphael as the least likely because because the thing is that with the devil's lettuce, it chills you out so much that you're not really angry anymore, and you're not like wanting to and Raphael uses that a lot, and so a
lot of super. I mean, yeah, I would say like in the like super, kind of like stereotypical sense of weed. Right. Like you'd be like, yo, man.
Not to say that no stoners are bad, but. Yeah.
Dude, but what I'm saying is, I mean, I don't know, man. I think Raph might be, he might be my number 2. And I'll make this argument.
Okay.
Because like a lot of people that have like anger stuff and whatever use that, and they don't they use it to moderate that. And, and you got to think about it. They don't become a different person. Mm-hmm. They just don't get as mad. But if you're already at midnight, as far as like, you're constantly angry about shit, then like if you use that stuff, man, it might bring you down to 6, which is like higher than most people, right? Like on average,
right?
But like you can use it to chill, like when you need to, maybe, or you just use it and it just focuses you, right? It shouldn't like
Oh.
necessarily have to chill you out. It might be actually how he stays on task, like
Right.
training and stuff, and not just like beating holes in walls.
Interesting.
So I might make the argument
Okay.
that Raph might be my number 2.
I like your argument.
Actually.
Number two is a little strong for me. I can't meet you at number 2, but I can agree that that's a really good, compelling argument for it.
Yeah.
The only counter I would say is that I don't think that he ever wants to not use that anger, except for like moments where he's like, "Oh, I wish I wasn't so angry," and then all of a sudden, next episode, he's like, "I love being angry and fun with guns and whatnot." But
well, no, I mean, like, I would say he necessarily use it medicinally like that. He meant just like the effect of it, though.
yeah,
Right? Like a lot of people, like some people use it for anger issues because they're like, "Oh, I'm going to self-medicate with this because I have anger issues."
right,
Some people have anger issues. They like the feeling of being high, and then they're just like, "Oh, and it also works out for this."
yeah.
Or it also helps me focus. But more than not, they like being high. Like Raph sounds like the kind of guy who would like indulge in that, though. To me. So I mean, that's why he goes kind of higher, where he'd be like, you know what I mean? Like he's not scared of anything.
I could see him being like in a rebellious way too, that he could like
Sure.
knowing that, assuming that Splinter lives by the law of the land, but not in my sewer. Where'd you find that?
I mean, Splinter might be the first one. Splinter might be that kind of like, hey man, if you use it, just use it around me. He might be that parent. You never know.
You know for certain that they find that in the sewer. Like they definitely Aardvark, Devil's Lettuce, right there. So
yes, absolutely.
But so I was gonna make. So you brought up about when people use it to like focus, and I was thinking that could be an argument for Leo and Don, that both of them could use it medicinally in that regard.
I think Donnie's up there.
Donnie's up there. Donnie's probably
for sure.
my number 2.
Yeah.
And because that just seems like something that he could do, because he also would probably have so much anxiety just based on his personality, that he would want to that relaxation, and then also the fact that if he can get some of the psychotropic stuff, that he might, because he often wants to disprove the supernatural only because he can't figure it out, but this might be a means to bridge that gap. Like we'll see that in the episode we're going to review tonight a little bit. With him doing stuff like that.
Yeah. What you might find with Donatello though is I think it matters how the effects of the THC actually hit him.
Yeah.
Because if it makes him like, if it messes with his short-term memory, if it like makes him feel like he can't think, or whatever, like he might swear off it. Right. Yeah. At the same time though, your boy definitely strikes me as number 1 on the list of, if he got into it, it might take over his whole thing. Because if he got super into it, your boy would be like, and now I'm gonna grow the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like he would take it to a level like of like your boy be like pulling some old Mandel shit. He'd be like breathing. You know what I mean? He'd be like on his 10th iteration of this like special breed and blend, and like he would get very very Donnie about that. I could totally see that.
Change his screen name to Dank Machines. That's what he's gonna from Does Machines.
Dank Machines. I just feel like Leo would be the least likely to do it. The only way I think to me that Leo would even try it to start with, or be a user, is if like Splinter 100% endorsed the usage, and in those cases it would be almost ceremonial.
Yeah,
I think that's how Leo would do it. Leo would be like, okay, I'm going to, like, now is my spiritual time, right? So I'm going to smoke some of this, and I'm going to use it to expand my mind so I can achieve this level of Zen or this level of detachment and meditation, because it's an aid that Splinter said could help me.
Yeah.
But then, like, he's going to meditate till it wears off, and he's not going to do it anymore until it's time to use it again for that purpose only. Right. Like, I don't know. It's funny how we see Leo different then, because you sound like you disagree, but like that sounds really like that rings really true to me.
I can see him doing it for those reasons, absolutely, but I think that Raph would do it less likely to do it than Leo is. Did I say that right? I think Raph is more likely to not do it than Leo is.
Interesting.
Because of the reasons that Splinter more than likely does, because what else has he got going on? Like, so
well I think Splinter would have like a very, like, I think Splinter would see it as a tool like anything else.
Oh yeah.
Like You know what I mean? He would be like, "Oh, I meditate on this straw mat because it's comfortable and I can meditate for long hours. I dress like this because this gi allows me the most flexibility." He's very pragmatic, so I can see just
Right.
in the tool shed, right next to drink plenty of water, right? Would
Yeah.
be and like you can like use this plant to achieve X,
Yeah.
but I don't think he would be casually using it,
Yeah.
like recreationally using it, put it that way. And
Okay.
maybe that's the biggest difference. I don't see Leo as any kind of recreational user. I
Of
think that he
anything.
matches Splinter too much. Yes. I
Yeah.
think he matches Splinter too much in that he would look at that as very like, I'm not going to put that in my body unless I have an exact reason to do it.
Right.
Whereas
Right.
every other turtle, I could see a path for them to be like, oh no, I tried it out. It was all right.
Yeah.
I can see them just being like, it looked fun.
Yeah.
Like any other turtle but Leo.
I get that. I get that. Okay.
All right. So the second question is, and I mean, we can't get into this fully, but maybe we can just discuss it. If turtles come out and fight Mr. Bucket, and
Oh. Yeah.
that
you
is,
gotta be careful.
yeah, that's kind of like a unstoppable force meets an immovable object a little bit. That,
Yeah.
like, I think that we might have been running from this all the way back in the past. Because hear me out.
I'm hearing.
I believe that the turtles' confrontation with Mr. Bucket may have been the actual Big Bang that started the universe.
Very well.
In the past,
could've.
okay, and the entire universe is expanding from the raw, force created by that meeting. You know what I'm saying?
I do, because you can't disprove it. If you can,
Yeah.
turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. Let us know. But
Sure.
you can't
Yeah.
disprove.
Let us know.
Yeah, you can't disprove that, like, at all. Like,
I'll say this:
yeah.
it'd be tough because so the turtles have an advantage in the fact that we see a lot of front tail, but I don't think they have balls completely.
Damn,
So like
true.
Mr. Bucket would be a little bit like
Yeah.
right, he'd be a little bit out, but as we know, guys, like Mr. Bucket can eat anyone, man. Like he
Yeah.
attacks like women and everybody else. You know
He
what I
doesn't
mean? Like, so
discriminate.
we don't understand maybe like what his definition of balls is, and we've talked about this on the show a lot before. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean everybody, regardless of your gender identity. I mean, Mr. Bucket wants your balls, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
So maybe that doesn't help the turtles as much, but it might throw Mr. Bucket for a second.
Could.
Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
he's like, put your balls. Oh wait, well, I don't see any, and maybe that's the window they need.
That
It would take everything they had.
Opportunity. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. Absolutely.
it would take everything they had.
But that's about all we can talk about for Mr. Bucket, because
Yeah. I mean, the rest is classified.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't. I've already said his name like 5 times.
Right.
You basically summoned him.
Yeah.
The last one is, and this is very interesting. I like this.
Okay.
If you could be a mutated animal, what would it be?
Ooh.
And would you be human to animal mutant or vice versa?
That is
So,
interesting.
Rad Rat Dad rat origin or Rad Rat Dad human origin? And then what animal would you like to be?
I think I'd want to be human to animal, so that I've been to both worlds. Like, I've got best of both worlds. You know?
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
I completely, I think that's the road I was taking as well.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. As far as animal, well, like, so let's break it down to just like what things can do. So like,
Sure.
based on our normal habitat, we'd probably want to be mammals that are warm-blooded, because we're used to that.
100%. It has to be a mammal. I'm
Yeah.
not going to deal with like the unknown things of being mixed with a cold-blooded animal.
Right,
I think that's weird.
I mean, I guess we could still go to the library, or I guess we could still use the internet. Do we have thumbs? I don't know. But like, because how else are we going to, we can't go well, I guess you could have like mental ability, because I guess Man Ray can speak to the Glublub or Blublubs.
Yeah, Blublubs,
all them and all that. So maybe there's that involved. But nevertheless, just taking that out of the count, I still think warm-blooded, stick to the rivers and lakes we're used to. You know, we don't need Jason waterfalls. And but then, like, do you want to be fast? Do you want to be strong? Or do you want to fly? I think that's the question.
See, that's the problem though, because my first answer is like, I want to be a hawk,
Right.
be badass.
Yeah.
Then I'm like cold-blooded.
Yeah.
See, you gotta watch out.
That's where they
You know
get
what I mean? Because like a lot of animals that are cool as hell are cold-blooded.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Turtles included.
I didn't even think
so
about
like
that.
that's an
Yeah,
issue.
you're right.
Yeah, man. Can't run the bird. I mean, there are like some mammals that fly, but they mainly glide. So kind of weird.
Is it gliding?
Gliding squirrel? Like you could be a.
That's what I was gonna say. That's kind of
like
cool.
that.
That's kind of
squirrel
cool.
would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
or like
I already
or like
love
a cat,
nuts.
bro.
Yeah,
like because there's already evidence.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
For
that running
you,
that cat plan from IDW. Well, first of all, number one, and of course we haven't reviewed it, so I'm forgetting his name right now. But the cat from IDW.
Hobbs. Old Hob.
Hobbs, yeah, old Hob. Yeah, so like there's evidence that a cat can be sweet. But you gotta watch out.
There's also evidence
you got cat
that a cat can be something
That's
else.
the other
Ryan.
thing. That's the other thing. That's the other thing.
What's this
You know
doing
what I mean?
to you?
Has she been chipped? Well, no, that's not the part I'm into.
I know.
That's not the part I'm into.
I
Look,
know.
don't misrepresent my kink on the show, okay? I clearly stated in that episode
It was the
that
milk.
it was human April acting like a cat,
Right.
not full-on cat April, who you rarely see in the episode, frankly.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean? You get a lot more time with her just being a human and acting like a cat. That's a different thing. Okay,
It
so
is.
don't misrepresent me on
I'm
the
sorry.
show. You know what I mean? And for our audio-only listeners, he just held up the box of Cat April and said, "What's this do for you? What's that do for you?" Catwoman for Channel 6. And I'm like, I don't like that cat looking gross shit. You know what I'm saying? But some of the behavior that was exhibited beforehand, yes, I did take a liking to.
Right.
But the thing about a cat though,
Okay.
is you would inherit some of their like kind of natural crap, and cats are cool and all, but like it would super suck because then you'd be looking for like buddies and like other mutated buddies, and if any of them were like a mouse or a rat, you'd be like instantly wanting to eat them,
right? Or
that
chase them,
great.
or just and it's not.
So you're
natural
looking
enemies.
for the qualities of the animal you want. You're right. It's kind of a trade-off of like their abilities plus like what it kind of makes you, because you are going to be that animal now.
Yeah,
basically, you're gonna be an anthropomorphic version of that animal,
right?
Which everything that comes with it.
Which is an interesting thing to talk about because like the turtles very rarely use any of their animalistic abilities.
No, the turtles like almost don't follow that rule weirdly.
Yeah,
which
like
is weird.
Like they might, even when they go swimming or whatever, it's like barely even like they still got to hold their breath or something. You know, they never really play.
Well, that's the one thing, right? That's different with the origin of them versus everyone else, right? Because going back to Mirage, it was just because it was funny.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
It was just weird that like turtles would be ninjas because turtles are so slow and weird.
Yeah.
But these guys are awesome and badass, and that's the funny part. But they never really like kept that going for like any of the other mutant creatures. Like all the other mutant creatures play by a whole different set of rules where they're like, you know, very like, oh, I'm a bull, so I charge shit. Oh, I'm a groundhog, so I dig.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Armageddon, so I swim around like an asshole. You know what I mean? Like they have those traits, right?
Yeah. So
damn.
I don't know. The cat thing is cool, and then I like the flying. I like the ability to glide because that's the one thing humans.
It's a big one.
I can lick myself right now. That cats can lick themselves. I can like
That's true. You can play the cello for everyone in person.
I have on occasion. Patreon.com if you want to see
Oh
that.
no. There's some deep links in there that you can get to and watch your boy play the cello like a house cat.
And but that's I don't know. I totally forgot about like the birds being like, cold-blooded and stuff like that's just.
I mean, and we've talked about before the turtles too. Like obviously they're not actually cold-blooded. Like they somehow inherited like a warm-blooded body because they don't suffer when it's cold. They don't have torpidity when it's cold. They don't.
Oh, you're right.
Don't have any issues like that, right?
Yeah. But feathers, though.
But
in molting and all that or whatever. And
that ain't
that
great.
Stuff.
That ain't great. Well, I mean, you might get that with like, being any kind of reptile too.
Yeah.
Like shedding your skin, like I don't know if the turtles have to use like special like shampoo or something.
Ointment or something.
Yeah,
just
something like that.
They're super ashy. But yeah.
No, I got it. So we have to settle squirrel. I want to be a damned squirrel. I want to be a big ass, like the same size I am now, squirrel with a big bushy tail. I want to be able to claw around shit because you get the kind of best of both worlds, right? Because you're warm blooded, right? Mm-hmm. But you can chatter at people.
Yeah.
Like, man, nothing's better than a squirrel having an argument with you, bro.
Oh,
like, You're like, oh my God, like Jesus. So that they can be super ornery. They're real fast. And you know what? I'll be a gliding squirrel, so that way I can glide too. There we go.
There you go. See, that's awesome. See, that's one of the things I would like to be. I'm gonna just say red panda, because that's one of my favorite
There you go.
animals. They're super cute.
Yeah.
And people like to feed them stuff. So like, hopefully I can play up on that cuteness, because obviously like I'm going to not be able to go to my job anymore. So I'm going to have to find some means
absolutely not.
Survival. So basically just be like panhandling, but as a
you could always be like a trash panda. A
Yeah.
raccoon character would be cool too, actually.
It would be. You get the domino mask. Like that's kind of neat.
Oh yeah. Like it comes built in.
Yeah, built in. Yeah. And
sick.
what's really cool, like, is that you know all the tricks of the trade that the other animal kingdom doesn't. So like they're gonna try to give raccoons ice, and you're gonna be like, no, don't fall for that. No, that's just frozen water. It's gonna evaporate. It's gonna be gone. You're gonna be disappointed.
Oh, oh man, I think an actual raccoon character in the TMNT would be super sweet. Because it'd be awesome if they were like the ultimate like lock picker. Because raccoons would be.
Oh, absolutely.
Like if that was their whole thing, is they were like really good at like picking locks and like doing all this like super stealthy shit, because that's like what raccoons do.
Yeah.
But
what if that would be? But what if, like, so with a bunch of people working from home now and stuff like that, what if something happened and like nobody knew about it, but like, and everyone just kind of kept it quiet, and we're not seeing people as much anymore, and then all of a sudden like we have to realize we have to, like, the internet, an EMP goes off or something and the internet dies, and people come out and they're like, oh yeah, there was this, remember when the stuff leaked or whatever, or something got in the water or whatever, it mutated everybody, but nobody could say anything, because like, and that would be so nuts if that was like you actually see this happening in real life. Like that'd be really bizarre.
Oh, that'd be insane.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So anyway,
sweet. So he signs off with "Else Time, My Turtle Brothers." You know what I'm saying? And thanks a ton, Mitchell.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the show. It's legit you've been listening so long, and keep on that journey. I mean, maybe you're caught up at this point. Like I don't even know. You got it right back. I got to know more.
Yeah, we got to know.
You caught up? Where are you at with it? You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But yeah, thanks a lot, Mitchell. That gave us a lot of content right there.
It did.
You know what I'm saying? Let me see. So the next one, let me go back here, is from Drew. Okay.
Oh.
And this was just entitled The Journey. You know what I'm saying? This is a new email. It's just The Journey.
The Journey.
Eric and Ryan.
Yes.
It is 2023.
Ooh.
I am listening to a podcast recorded in 2013 about a cartoon from 1987. As a kid, just cold open.
Love that.
These are the years I'm all living in right now.
That's wild.
Because you're a weird show.
Yeah.
As a kid, my love for the TMNT was mostly limited to the first cartoon and toys, but after a certain point in the mid-90s, the TMNT faded into memory. Despite my ongoing love of comic books, I never got into any for the Turtles. Last year, I picked up the first Ultimate Collection and was blown away by the Mirage run. The best way I can describe my experience with the Mirage comics is like becoming good friends with somebody who had only been an acquaintance.
Ooh.
There's a familiarity, but way more depth than you realized.
That's a good way to put it.
Good analogy.
I love that.
That's a very good analogy. I decided to go ahead and experience as much of the franchise as possible in order. Oh, no, we are also kindred spirits in that way.
Absolutely.
I worked hard to make a list of everything I could find and plowed through a ton of great comics, cartoons, video games, parentheses, the Cowabunga collection rules. It does. It's like the best. A concert and a movie. I even dug out some of my old toys. I've made it through 1990, but had to take a break after seasons 3 and 4 of the cartoon started to wear me down. They absolutely did.
That's where it happens.
Eric stopped at some point in there.
Yeah.
Like
originally.
Maybe it was before the show.
It was.
Did the show. And you try to be like, I'm gonna watch all this, and you just like lost it.
I couldn't do it.
During this break, so you did a little break there. You know what I'm saying? During this break, I found your podcast and was thrilled to find two guys doing the same insane thing for an amazing 10 years and 300 episodes. It's like simultaneous development or whatever they call that. We were both like, let's do it all in order.
Right.
And then Drew's like, whoa, look, these guys are doing it all in order. We're like, yeah, come on. This is like, you guys crack me up, and I enjoy hearing your thoughts as I catch up to where I left off in 1991. Oh, that was a great time. 91's a great year for the Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the newer cartoons and IDW series, of which I've started grabbing the first couple collections. I have no idea when I will catch up to where you are now, but it's obvious you guys are committed to the Turtles and each other's friendship.
Oh.
See you in the future, Drew. And then he included a picture of a lot of these toys that they dug up, and it's really interesting because there's like wrestler Mikey.
Oh yeah.
There's like I believe it's Toka. No. Yes, Toka from I think the first movie collection. Well, the second film collection.
Right.
I thought I saw Razor, but I don't. Yeah, old metalhead dude, Triceraton. I mean, like Skull, Rat King, Fugitoid. One of my favorites was Astronaut Raphael.
Oh
was
yeah,
was a highlight.
Oh yeah, and then they've got the Native American Leonardo in the bottom corner. Jeez.
Yeah.
Olympic Dawn. I think
Yeah,
that's who that is, or Raph.
Interesting.
Yeah. I guess I'm Oh, and he's
There's,
got is it free throw? The camel? Was that what? No,
Yes.
no, the camel's not free throw. That's the giraffe. The
No.
camel. What was the camel's name? I forget the camel's name.
I cannot remember.
But yeah.
Really cool collection. There's like the Olympic, like I think it's swimmer. Raphael.
Raphael. Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's pretty, that Fugitoid net, that black and gold though.
That's sick.
That's like one of the coolest looking Fugitoids ever.
It is.
So I actually responded to Drew because I know something got me today about the 2023, like all the years, 2013, 1987, all this stuff.
Right.
So I basically just wrote back to say like, yeah, we're going to be reading your email in 2023 concerning a podcast recorded in 2013 about a cartoon from 1987 tonight in 2023.
That's awesome.
Thanks again from the future.
Right.
That's what I told them, and they responded and stuff. And yeah. So Drew, thanks a lot for emailing.
Indeed,
it's going to be the future when you read this or listen, unless you give into your temptation and be like, I gotta get that new episode so I can hear that email. But yeah, no, love that you're on the journey, and yeah, love that like you're going back and that you're already journey focused. You already have the journey idea in your head already. Now we're just where's your little arm rail you just hold on to as you walk up the thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because I heard
and we're laying down tracks ahead of you now.
So. Right. And I heard them say they watched one concert, and they probably don't know that there's at least two, possibly three, if you count Oprah, and then Auckland.
Yeah.
And then
you've got Auckland, and then
what was the second one? The sequel with Casey Jones to. What was that one called? Getting Down in Your
something
Town.
in your town.
Getting Down in Your Town.
Getting Down in Your Town. Yeah, Getting Down in Your Town. That's definitely worth your time.
And
definitely worth your time.
Technically, I think there's some stuff in the Next Mutation with the Turtles playing instruments that could count as a concert, possibly, or at least a music video. So you have that to look forward to as well.
Very true.
So,
well, yeah, thanks a lot, Drew, from the future. And that is our emails.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to catch up with chat really fast before we get into content.
Oh, sure.
Pretty funny stuff's been dropping in here.
Okay, good.
Ryan Raglan's talking about being a skunk mutant.
Oh,
so
that's not
there's that.
Yeah. Okay.
Skunk mutant. John Clemens, raccoon superpower, washing your hands like a non-disgusting being. Yeah, that'd be pretty great. Raglan also mentions a sugar glider, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see here. Did you do a cute sky puppy?
Interesting.
Yeah, no, John Clemens is just wild now right now. Yeah. That's just all it is. He picked ours. Do you want to hear what ours are?
Oh, sure.
Eric is a capybara. I don't know what that is.
I think I know what that is. I think I know what that is.
It is like it's that like uncomfortably large animal that looks like it's like a rodent.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it looks like it's not great.
Yeah, it's not. But you're not wrong.
That's my opinion on the capybara. That thing doesn't look great.
No,
that thing's rough. And I bet you. Oh, and his mouth doesn't shut the same way on each side. That's why. Okay.
Jeez.
It's all good because I got mutant clam.
Mutant clam.
That's obnoxious.
Yeah, but if you get sand in your mouth, you can just spit out pearls. And
John Clemens trying to correct me, trying to say birds aren't cold-blooded. Get out of here. They don't give live birth. Go somewhere else with your pro cold-blooded propaganda. You know what I'm saying?
do they have birds in Canada?
Yeah, right.
Goodness.
Yeah, because you know what? When it gets all cold, where they come, huh? Where your
Right.
birds come? They come down here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You know,
Where they go when it's cold? They come here, son.
you know what's that? It just be so funny to be like possessive of birds like that. Like,
Yeah,
it's
just be like real
it's like,
antagonistic on the internet.
like,
for
yeah,
no
man,
reason.
y'all like bird watching. That's cool. Yeah, man. Like, what? I guess during your summer, but in the winter, man, they're knocking boots down here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're down in my shit.
Yeah, what are you
what I mean?
watching? What are you watching then?
Like, hey, man, your bird's called, man. They left their shoes under my bed.
oh, that's too good.
Oh my god. But
Goodness.
yeah, no, chat's fantastic. That's pretty
is.
great. Are you ready to hop into this bad boy?
I'm not ready yet.
Oh,
I am.
okay.
Now I am. Now
I'm not used to that. I'm not used
yeah.
to that.
No,
That's
I know.
weird to hear.
I know. Sorry, I
That's weird to
wasn't.
hear.
But now I am. So
It reminds me of that time, like, I had a couple of buddies who were like rollerblading, and like one of them, this is back in high school, one of them was trying to grind down like the rails outside of Edgecombe, actually, or no, it was the federal courthouse at Edgecombe, and fell and like hit his head like really bad.
Ooh.
Like, I mean, like brain damage bad. Like,
Ooh.
I mean, right? But he was still conscious.
Right.
And so my buddy rolls up, and his big takeaway was he goes, "Hey man, you all right?" And his friend's on the ground. He goes, "No."
Oh, dang.
And he goes like, "Oh yeah, man, damn. Oh, I don't see much blood. Hey man, hey, are you cool? Are you cool?" And he's like, "No."
No.
And like my buddy couldn't handle like not hearing no.
Right.
To that question, because you always hear yes.
You always hear yes.
Even if somebody's damn arm could be like half ripped off, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I think I'm all right."
There's something unsettling
we just do that
about no.
It's very unsettling to hear no to that.
Right.
Just no. So I'm like, "All right, man, you good to get into this content?" You're like, "No."
No.
I'm like,
I triggered you. Sorry about that.
man. I think you heard me. I think you heard me. You good to get into this content? No, I'm not. Oh,
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready now. I'm ready now. So
I was just doing the thing.
Well, let's do the thing.
I was just doing the thing.
Now we're doing this thing.
It is time.
Woo!
Ninja Turtles.
Got 'em.
Mutation.
Woo!
East meets West.
Ninja.
Part 3. There you go. Oh goodness, this episode. So yeah, this is East meets West, part 3. It was written by Dan Clark, directed by Clay Boris. And I guess I could just drop it so basically here real fast.
Sure.
You know, super fast. So like obviously in the previous 2 episodes, we're basically establishing, and we're still establishing in this episode. I hate to spoiler alert you, but we're kind of establishing these 3 episodes have been in the service of establishing the basis. But your girl Mei Pei Chi, we've been saying Chai this whole time. Like in the trailer, it literally showed her saying like in the last time on Turtles.
Right.
So Mei Pei Chi is a female turtle who you know is the daughter and apprentice. You know what I'm saying? Adopted daughter and apprentice of a man named Chung Yi, who got this mirror artifact he's always watching over. Well, bad stuff's happening in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Splinter and those turtle boys are over in New York, and Splinter's like, "I'm gonna go walk that dream realm, son." And he rolls up on his old friend Chung Yi, and Chung Yi's like, "Bro, get out of here, bro. Oh my God, it's so bad with the dragons." And Splinter's
so
doing
bad
that.
With
I
the
don't
dragons.
understand. He's so bad with the dragons, and bro, they're eating us up out here, bro. The dragons are everywhere. It's like mosquitoes. You know what I mean? They're everywhere, bro. And Splinter's like doing that obnoxious thing where it's like, wait, stop. I don't understand. Wait, you're talking too fast. Wait. And it's like, no, you can hear him saying, "Get out of here."
Yeah,
man.
you can totally hear that, Splinter.
That'd be like if someone said, "Oh my God, get out of here," and then like an explosion muffled the rest of the sound. You'd be like,
right.
Wait, I didn't hear why. Why should I get out of here? You know what I mean? Like, but anyway, Splinter's on this planet. He wants to know why. Your boy's enlightened. You know what I'm saying? So he can't be ignorant about anything, even if it's the dang dragons.
Dang dragons.
But don't worry. Dragon Lord boy shows up and is like, now all your dream realm are belong to me, and chains Splinter up in that old fire. You know what I'm saying? Now to the turtles, Splinter is just rolling around, mumbling on the couch like when I eat too much pizza. You know what I'm saying? He just was like, and they're like, dude, he never been like this. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like he's never been trapped in the dream realm. They really don't know what to do. The Foot Clan make an appearance. We get introduced to Shredder and the Foot Clan. And this show kind of goes by TMNT movie 1 origin story, aka a little bit of an adapted Mirage origin.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a Splinter Rat origin here, right, which is very different than the animated series. So if you're just jumping on, things are a little different. Shredder is shown, Rokosagi is shown to have the scratches down his face from the rat Splinter. So you see the first movie, this is the origin we're working with.
Right.
Yeah, we meet Shredder, and Mei-Pei Chi shows up to the sewer, and she is actually Venus de Milo. And if you're listening to this, watching this, you probably know who this is. Nobody's surprising anybody. That's Venus de Milo, and she gets her name last episode. So, and the last episode kind of ended with the annihilation of Oroku Saki's mortal soul.
Yeah.
Through the use of magics
and mirrors or reflective surface.
And you need to go back and listen.
Yeah.
You need to go back and listen to the episode.
It's good.
Because Eric and I were highly impressed actually for how weird that sounds.
Oh yeah. It was great.
And basically your girl Venus casts a spell on Shredder, and it turns out his arm's a mirror. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a mirror is what his arm said. He sees himself, and she's like, kill yourself. And he's like, I guess. And that's it. The Foot Clan's disbanded, and now they can come back to the sewer and work on dream walking so they can save Splinter in the dream realm.
Right.
And yeah, episode kind of ends with her being kind of part of the crew, right? Like that's kind of the feeling. You know, a lot of creepiness happens beforehand, but when they get in, she's kind of part of the gang now. And that's kind of where we pick up here, right? Like Splinter's still ate up on that couch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, and they're going to sit down and focus. Did you want to take the first point from me? I've been talking a lot. Yeah. And then maybe I can come in with the second one.
Yeah. I can do that. So yeah. So
give your show notes. Okay.
I do. I managed to find them. So yeah, so this episode, there's not a lot that happens in here. It's one of those just you know, plain and simple, but we do get a big thing that happens. Like one major thing happens, and that's about it. But like Ryan said, you know, they're trying to get in the dream realm, and like everyone's like, you know, all sitting around doing whatever they can to try to somehow, like, I feel like this is the same thing that you and your friends would do whenever you're trying to see the magic eye stuff. Like, I heard if you like do this, or you turn your head sideways, or you hold your breath.
No, I was 100% Raph on that. Like, it was like, hey, man, no, just hold it up to your nose. Okay, no, hold it up to your nose.
Right.
And I'm like, I've been doing this for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And so, like, they're just like not having it. Like Donatello's falling asleep and stuff. Just like it's nuts, and it's really neat to see the turtles like not do well at something that's somehow not that you would think would be in their wheelhouse, given Splinter's proclivity to frequent this said realm. And
but I buy it. Though.
I do too. They did it well. Absolutely do it well.
Yeah. But well, especially because Leo's the one, right, in the scene that's like, you know, like, hey, like guys, like we got to do this, dude. Like, and that would be Leo. Leo's always, you know, and it's very, you know, sticking with how the turtles kind of are normally. Like, Leo's the one that's like the closest to Splinter and kind of like gets we got to do this thing.
Right, exactly. And so it's funny because, like, you know, this show does a good job of like encapsulating the turtles' like personalities pretty well. And you get Leo and Raph fighting, and they're according to Mei-Pei Chi. Is that right? Did I say it right? Well, I guess she's now Venus.
Well, just Venus now. Let's go.
Yeah. Sorry. She's this trope, and I hope they keep going with this at least for a little bit because I enjoy it. But her like not saying things right, so she says things like "You're behaving like babies who cry instead of crybabies." I thought that was pretty funny.
Pretty good.
And so that's, you know, they're having all this trouble, and she says, they keep talking, and she says, "Do can yourself."
Yes.
Instead of can it. so good. So
That's
good.
so classy, though. I love it because how classy it sounds.
Do can yourself. Exactly.
Do can yourself. That's
And
just the best.
it is. And so yeah, they then but see what's neat about it is Venus has this like perspective, and she's like saying like, really, like, y'all are ninja, like you don't have like, I'm really starting to doubt your dedication to sparkle motion, you know what I'm saying? So so yeah, so like they're trying to do that. Leo and Raph fight. Venus, like I said, is questioning the ninja skills, and they decide that, like, you know what's going to help? You know what's absolutely going to help, Ryan? Is if they engage in some mega shellage up on the roof, and they dead ass bring Splinter in his bed up to the roof of some building. Because
they carry this infirm man somehow in a way that I'm sure was a very Three Stooges way of carrying a unconscious man. Right. I'm sure it involved a lot of like rope and dope, and a lot of he almost like cracks his head open like 800 times before they get him up there. I'm sure it involved all that.
Exactly. And so here's the thing. So the turtles don't live in a house. They don't live in a building. They live in the sewer. If you're new here, or the toilet, as some people say.
You're new here. That might be the most like demeaning way to like, the turtles live in the sewer. You know, like if you're new here.
If you're new here, if you're for the unaccustomed or whatever.
Oh yeah, but, for the uninitiated.
Yeah,
the turtles live in the sewer, man. Number one rule.
Number one. So I just realized that, like, yeah, what roof is this? And second of all, Splinter doesn't realize what's going on. He's out of it. So he's still moaning and making like I'm sick noises, like help me noises. And so you've got these Ninja Turtles are like 6 feet tall, have to be. And they're carrying a rat on a bed in the street. It's hard to be a ninja carrying a rat on a mattress, I would imagine. So
given the fact that we never see their ingress or egress from in this show from the sewer to the building,
right,
makes me say that they have a sewer access entrance in this abandoned building, that they didn't go through the building.
That's
and go
fair.
Up top. I don't think they're carrying him down Fifth Avenue.
Okay, see, that's fair.
Like that.
That's fair, but I do like that there's cause for that discussion. So the other thing that we haven't talked about yet, or maybe we did and I forgot, but Venus's bandana is braided, and I love that. That's so cool. It looks so neat. Yeah. It's just a subtle thing, and I'm like, oh, that's fancy. So so the turtles start showing off up here to like try to like, they're just like showing their ninja skills, I guess, because Venus questioned them, and somehow like Raph is like on his size, like just walking on him, like that's like a handstand. Super weird. Somehow this manages to like trigger something in Venus to make them like go into the dream world, and that's how they get there. Instead of like the traditional way, they just go up and like brag a lot, and then they end up getting there. And
I think they do a pretty good job of having her explain like as it's going, because at first she's like, oh, this is BS. Like what is this?
Right.
But then as they start like doing their katas and running around and doing their ninja stuff, she realizes, oh wait, so these guys aren't like absolute like savages.
Yeah,
it's just that the way that they somehow like open their minds is by like fooling around like this.
Yeah, you're right. They do.
Like
she does
it puts them in the right mind state to do it. Right. I think, and she has a few lines. I think it does a pretty good job of explaining. Like
it does.
It's almost like the whole thing of like, like when you like kick something, it starts working, and you're like, how does that actually work? Right. I think she's kind of like, oh, that's not the way that works, but it's working.
It's working.
And she says something about them creating like the right like zone or the right energy envelope for them to travel and stuff like that. I bought it for sure. Oh, I thought it was weird, but
I did too. I did too. It was weird going through it, but you're right. She did explain it a lot better than I did. But yeah, they did a good job kind of making it make some sort of sense. And so then they get to the weird screensaver dream world. Finally it feels like, and it's very surreal. It feels a lot like the CGI from Beast Wars.
It is. And, it is. And no, it. Oh my God! It took that Beast Wars comment a minute to like fully sink through my brain actually, because I heard Beast Wars. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, I like about 300 Beast Wars flashbacks. I'm like, oh my god, that CG style is so distinctive.
It is. It's
so
like
distinct.
It's like good enough to where you could watch it, but still like just kind of weird. Yeah. And and so yeah.
Do you want me to take this point over? Sorry, guys, we're still working out our flow for these reviews.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to trade off points, or
it's up to you? It's fine with me. I'm cool with whatever.
Well, you run this next one. I'll run the third one.
Okay, so so they're here. They're in the dreamscape.
The truth is, we out here.
Exactly, and they hear help me. I can't do a Splinter. I can't remember how Splinter talks in this.
No,
help me.
Like the accent doesn't. The accent doesn't always stick. It's not always Splinter. Like sometimes you can tell, like the voice actor is a little bit like, "Help me, help me." I'm like, that doesn't really sound like Splinter, but that's fine.
But no, I still love him.
Do Leo? All right. So do Leo and Venus here look about 110 years old, just in this shot?
They totally
or is
do.
It just me?
They totally do. And the one thing I noticed in this episode a lot was you can see right underneath their eyes the holes where the actors are looking through. Yeah, I couldn't see those before.
Yeah, with more episodes, I was right, because on the pilot, I thought that's how they were looking through. But now I don't know the way they're shooting it. You can totally see it.
Yeah.
The more I look at this frame, I can't get over how they look like. You know, they look like. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, this is gonna freak you out. You ready?
Oh,
they look like the husband and wife characters from Beetlejuice when they're being trapped in that thing at the end, and they're turning all old. Remember that?
That is kind of what they look like. Jeez.
That's the scare. I'm telling you, that scene in Beetlejuice is one of the scariest things I ever saw as a kid. It terrified me. I had like nightmares about just how they looked. And that's how they look. They look like they're in like above that table, like being like turned all old and having like ghost energy drained out by Catherine O'Hara.
Oh, geez. Never mind. Moving on. So, well, their energy, I don't think Catherine O'Hara shows up in this show. I don't think she might. Just have to stick around and keep watching. If she could, be still. But
I wish she would
come suck my energy and turn me into a ball. And that's what they do here. They somehow jump into this like weird fire vortex kind of like energy, like pipeline thing. And
pipeline, basically,
yeah. And so they magically just transfer. And what's cool is they're all color coded, which is really neat. Which is another thing they've done early in the episode or this series. They end up finding Splinter, and he's like hung up like a Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport. And they're there, and he's just like hanging out, just looking around with his mouth open, just looking crazy. And they finally get a full unadulterated shot of the Dragon King. And Ryan, why don't you tell the good people what this fellow looks like?
Dragon Lord, dude. This boy
Dragon
right
Lord,
now. Yeah. Okay, so the Dragon Lord is fun. Because he's basically a better Shredder. He's like Shredder 2.0. The funniest thing about Dragon Lord to me is that, he looks actually pretty cool. He looks kind of like what a anthropomorphic dragon would, except for one thing.
What's that?
That gets me where I don't like it, and it's that he has hair.
Oh yeah, he does
black hair that is like up in a top knot or whatever, and I'm not a fan.
I'm trying to see if I've got.
It's hard to find an angle because from the front it just looks like a dragon.
Yeah, I've got.
But you can absolutely see it back there. Yes,
there.
Like when his helmet's off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't. It's more of a ponytail, not a top knot. I do not like that.
I kind of like it.
I do not like that. I do not like.
It makes no sense.
That I don't know what it is. It might just be like an uncanny valley thing. It might be something weird. But when I see that combination, I can't stop thinking about how gross that hair would feel, and I'm out. Like I don't know. I'm sure there's a Japanese like compound word or a German compound word for like getting grossed out by the texture of something that you haven't even touched.
Right. Yeah, there has
just
to.
The thought of the texture of something makes you feel like someone's squeaking their shoe against like a rubber cone or something, and you just like
Right.
want to die. That's how I feel. That's how I feel when I look at his hair. I
I
can't. I just can't.
man,
I'm out.
I kind of liked it that it gives him some variety. It reminds me very much of Mortal Kombat, like very much.
Sure.
And his
Sure.
design is pretty.
Also it's too small. Like there's not enough. I think the fact that there's not a lot of the hair makes me like it less.
Right. That's true.
I think because it's just so little.
It's just so little.
You know that somehow that hair, if you were to put your fingers through it, feels greasy and rough at the same time.
At the same time.
You know that's exactly how it feels.
Oh yeah.
You
absolutely.
know that it would like leave something on your fingers.
Yes.
I can't explain it. I can't.
I think you got it. So,
but what's nice is when he wears his helmet, you don't see it.
You don't see it.
But besides that, he's basically Dragon Shredder.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I didn't realize that that's like the look they were going for, but that's essentially what he is.
Yeah,
it's on that front I was kind of disappointed, but at the same time, it still looks pretty good overall. So I mean, even the turtles are kind of shaken up by him, like just like they're like, oh goodness, but I don't know why they'd be so scared because he's just another reptile. Like, what's the big deal? But
I mean, his entrance was
good.
His entrance was enough.
It was good. So
because literally, like I think Splinter said something like, "Oh, I've been here for 3 days or 3 weeks or whatever," and your boy laughs in the background. Right?
Yeah, he calls him a bagpipe. He's like, I've been listening to this
bagpipe for 3 days. Yes. And then you hear a laugh or whatever, and the turtles are like, "What's that sound?" And then booga booga, but this guy shows up. Yeah, that's enough for a homina. Okay.
Oh yeah. And so he shows up with oh goodness, what's his name again? Wick? Yes, Wick. The dragon puppet friend of his that's like I don't know, something like just basically like the trying to think there. I of course, like I know a million of these before I'm having to actually say it out loud, but the lackey,
like Salacious Crumb, or
yes, absolutely,
yeah, character,
yeah. And so he's like that. So he's there, and Splinter just is like not. He's just very like he calls people fools in this, and
no, he's got a mouth on him.
Yeah,
in this incarnation,
and so the Dragon Lord shows up, and I love the actor that does his vocals, that does his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, because it sounds a little bit like Megatron from Beast Wars, just a little bit, and it's very calming, oddly enough. Like his cadence,
the register,
the
register is good and low and smooth, and the cadence is really good. You're right. I agree.
It makes me like him. Like it makes me want to trust him, and that's freaky as hell. Because I wouldn't trust anybody in this place. And Splinter is saying the same thing. Splinter even says, if you were a gift horse, I would look you in your mouth and count your teeth. And damn.
Somewhere some old like 1781 bro is like, when he heard that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
That.
I bet you that was the worst insult you could drop on somebody. Like colonial America. Roll up on that and be like, yeah, dude, I don't know, bro. Like all I'm trying to say, I guess, is like if you think I'm like I don't like you, bro, is like if you were a gift horse, I look you in the mouth and count your teeth. And this guy's like, I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
Legally.
That's it.
With a duel.
With a
duel.
Like, you have to. So do you know what that phrase comes from or anything? Because like
I do.
I didn't really ever understand it.
Here we go. So horses, right? Here's the story.
I've seen
horses teeth and their dental situation is very indicative of how healthy the horse is. Okay. Horse can look great, but they show a lot of their age and a lot of their health and like how well they've been fed and taken care of through their teeth. Okay. So a lot of times, let's say if we were some horse trading men, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, or even actually hell, even today.
Could be today.
And you were gonna buy a horse from me. You would naturally like open its mouth and look at its teeth. And that would be, so you might be like, oh, yo, man, this is scuffed. Like, I ain't going to pay, like, I don't know, my daughter and plus 3 goats for this shit. And I'd be like, all right, well, then we drop the goats and just do your daughter. And you're like, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Something like that. So like you do it. But the idea is if someone gave you a horse,
right?
Like here's a horse, man. Like you need one, here's a horse. And you bring your stuffed up ass and you open that mouth checking those teeth out, right? Making sure those teeth are right. That's what the whole saying means.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like,
that makes
look,
a lot more sense.
don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Right.
Like, that'd be like if it'd be like, I guess a modern equivalent would be like a car. Let's say you didn't have a car. And I was like, oh, dude, bro, I got this like this car that like I've been kind of working on, but like, man, I don't know, man, you need a car more than I need a car to work on. So here you go.
Right.
That's pretty legit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you start popping that hood and you're like, oh, this is only the 4-cylinder version.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know, man. Those seats aren't leather. You'd be an asshole.
Right.
And that's basically what the statement is.
Okay. That makes sense.
Splinter's like, I don't even understand totally.
Yeah.
I guess he's trying to say like, you're so sketch, bro. Even if you were a gift horse given to me, I'd still check those teeth.
Exactly.
Even for all the shame and the bullshit it would bring me, because like, you look that bad, bro.
Right.
Like, I don't trust you.
And then, but the Dragon Lord, to his credit, says he'll show you my teeth. I'll show you my teeth.
No,
and it's just, dang, oh man, he's got.
And look at your boy Wick, bro.
Oh,
Wick's losing his mind right now.
He's loving this.
That's the funniest damn thing. Wick's heard all week.
Oh, yeah. They don't get a lot of comedy in the dream world.
They don't get a lot of comedy out there in the dream realm, bro.
And then what sucks is that I forgot to write down what Splinter's response to this was, but it was but he says baloney, or his what caused him to call baloney on the Dragon Lord.
Yeah,
he calls him.
Oh, yeah, it's a quick exchange. Honestly, like Splinter's just like, you're full of it.
Yeah, that's essentially the gist. Yeah. And So yeah, the Dragon Lord then just he also shows like well, he lets him leave is actually what happens, and that's probably where we're at, where he's just like, I'm just gonna let him go, and it's fine, you can just leave. And then these ninjas show up, and they are called, and they say yeehaw apparently, and they're called the Rank, if I'm not mistaken, RANK, and they look like foot soldiers essentially, or just like weird hooded ninjas.
They're basically foot soldiers,
but they got dragon eyes. We'll see a better version of them in a minute, or a closer version, closer image. I don't know what word I was trying to say there, but anyway, one way or the other. So they're like, this is where the fun begins, and now the Dragon Lord's whole thing is that he just wants to hunt them. Like, he's going to go chase them and see if he can get out. And that's their big thing. So the turtles do make it out. They finally do, and they get back. Green on the scene. And your boy Splinter is just like, I need a hot bath, and boy, did I miss my body.
Yeah, that's what I say every time I wake up.
Boy, I miss my body.
If you guys have been listening to this show, I have a lot of things I say when I wake up. The first thing I say is, I will go to America. That's the first thing I say.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I look around and I go, I did miss my body.
Yeah. This is exactly how I look when I wake up every morning. I look
absolutely
dead ass like Splinter, just showing his teeth. But
no, your wife Shannon's like, oh look, my beautiful husband. Oh
yeah, that's me.
How many times do you think our wives have had like a cool dream about us? Like they wake up from a dream. We're like, oh yeah, like, you know, like we were on the road, and like, oh, my husband's so cool, and like, oh yeah, it's so great, and they like roll over and they see that.
Oh yeah, all the time,
bro.
Hands
real
down.
Bad, right? Yeah. You got to think. Like, look, if I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're a dude, your wife looks better than you. Your girlfriend looks better than you. Like, they just do. Your boyfriend looks better than you. Straight up.
Yeah,
like,
regardless.
no matter what, the person you nabbed, that person is better looking than you.
More than likely,
and they look over and see you like that. So how about a little respect? You know what I'm saying? And right now, if it was Old Testament times, bro, straight up, just for making fun of him laying there like that, I'd be smited.
You would be. It's true. It's true.
Your boy Splinter wants sushi.
He does.
A hot bath. He missed his body. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of a cool time, right? Because like they did it. Like the turtles went up there. They roughhoused a bunch. That created the ability for them to go in the dream realm, which is honestly, that is 100% Venus did that shit.
Oh yeah.
Like they're celebrating like they kind of did something awesome. But what happened was Venus was kind of able to just kind of like use the fact that they basically weren't in her way. Like they'd opened their minds up.
Yeah.
It felt to me like, I don't even feel this way, to transport them there. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, I felt like she could get like more or less like she had the vehicle and the means, but she needed to get something to 88 miles an hour, and them doing that
Yes.
them to 88 miles an hour for her to
Yeah.
do the second, kind of like a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Like she was the bread with the peanut butter on both sides. She needed the jelly in the middle, which was the turtles, to do their thing. Then she could make the sandwich, and then there you go. There's lunch. It's lunchtime. Time to eat.
So yeah, so like there is like kind of a TMNT family reunion now that happens, right? Because now we get our final one because Splinter's there now, right?
Yeah.
So Venus has already been accepted by the Turtles, right, at this point.
Right.
But Splinter's new in the game. And Splinter does kind of explain kind of everything he knows, and there's a lot of leveling. This is why this episode feels like a setup for like the actual show.
Right.
Because now that they've dispensed with Shredder and the Foot Clan and replaced them with Dragon Shredder and Dragon Foot Clan.
Yes.
Now Splinter's awake, so now they get to talk about it. And Splinter drops these basic facts. Splinter's like, okay, I knew about Venus.
Yep.
Like, oh, I didn't know about Venus. Well, I did know about Venus. And they were like, what are you talking about? He's like, okay, the story from the start. Yes, there was another turtle in the bowl I didn't know about. Okay, this is true. However, she floated downstream into Chinatown, which when he puts it that way, I'm like, you were so lucky you weren't stepped on or something, dude. That's crazy.
Yep.
And Chung-Yi found her, and the turtle's like, oh my God, wait, so how do you know all this? He's like, oh, Chung-Yi told me, bro, obviously. And they're like, you didn't tell us there was an actual female version that, you know what I mean, like of us, like actually, Dad, for real.
Yeah.
He's like, it was Chung-Yi's wishes. You know what I'm saying? And they're like,
can't argue with that.
That's true. And then Venus goes cold-blooded, and they all laugh because she says cold instead of cool, which is
cool. It's great.
I do appreciate these. I don't know why.
I love it.
They're cool. And it gets into all that. So he accepts her. And I think we might have missed something because they just act like Chung-Yi's dead, straight up.
They do,
and I think he is. I think we somehow missed Chung-Yi's death.
Yeah,
because or maybe. Did you think he was dead?
I didn't necessarily think he was dead. I thought he was dying or like gravely hurt or like drained or something. But I didn't think that he was like, he left this mortal coil. I didn't think that.
That's how they're talking. Splinter's like,
is.
He's in a better place. He's moved past this life and shit. They're saying those things.
Yeah, they are. Like rip.
So she is like, and this is important, I think, to the show, right? Is that she's actually in this scene, she's been adopted at this point.
Yeah.
Like by him and the connection between Chung-Yi and Splinter, and now basically Splinter's her godfather, more or less. Like that this all gets kind of like set in stone. If you didn't have it all, now it's all here, right?
Yeah.
So the Dragon Lord, Wick, and his dragon ninja boys, the rank, actually just follow the turtles and Venus through the portals, and they show up on top of a building in New York,
which I think is the same building. It's probably the same building. I think it kind of looks like it.
I mean, it in the sets are.
Let's see
the fact that this is Saban, and
that's like, true. And let's see.
Go build another rooftop.
Let's see if I got any images we can compare the skyline real quick.
Oh, okay, forensics.
Yeah. So I'm looking, and they have the same. Yeah, it's the same building. Okay, so Ryan, like this is what we do here on Turtle Soup. I don't know. Can you see my mouse on the screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So see this building right here? How you have the long line of lights, and then you have this one bright one right here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna show you a scene of Raphael on the side when he's walking on his sides.
Okay. Yeah. 100%.
There's that building right there. So yeah, this is the same rooftop. So yeah.
Okay.
Good to know. Turtle Soup. That's why you come to us, everybody.
Well, okay. So good forensics. It is the same set.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't believe it is supposed to be the actual literal rooftop.
Really? Okay.
Because that'd be crazy.
Why would it be crazy?
That'd be crazy to have them show up. Because they're probably still on that rooftop, Eric. Like, how does that make any sense?
Who Who's still on the rooftop?
The turtles and Splinter and Venus.
No, because when they were
the literal next scene.
No, the next scene they're downstairs making food. Remember?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
The jellyfish stroganoff.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. If that it's a little weird how fast that happens. Bro. But I think because they had to get the turtles to go out, and I think they're following the same path, just a little bit behind. And
I get it. Okay, maybe I can concede that. I don't like it.
That's fine. You don't have to like it. That's
no.
fine.
I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb that I understand the point of like, oh, they followed them like through the literal exact point and they show up on the same rooftop.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah,
but that's annoying.
Okay,
because like, why couldn't they just be somewhere else? I guess they don't know the turtles live under that building or whatever.
Right.
That's like the villain being too close. I don't know. It is. You know what I'm saying? I'll concede the point, though. It's also just the same ass set, because if they went to make another rooftop, they wouldn't.
That's true.
By the way.
They would not.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Wick. Let's hit the streets and snag some meat. If you... Listen to me about this statement from Wick. You might look at Wick right now, and you might be like, that's some dumb... That's some Wick shit to say. That's something I wouldn't say. But if you eat meat and you go out to eat, you're doing exactly what Wick is talking about.
You're doing it. You're just
Let's
not
just
saying
be
it.
honest.
Yeah, let's be honest.
If you're not a vegetarian or vegan,
and
you go, I'm going to get in my auto conveyance or walk, and I'm going to go get some food for dinner or lunch or breakfast, you're going to hit the street and snag some meat.
And snag some meat.
So before you take Wick out of context and go, oh, that dumbass little dragon. No. Wick's got you red cold.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So cold. Anyway. So the Dragon Lord and Wick and the whole gang get down and they get back on that building. I'm going to call it the same building, but I hate that. And now the hunt begins. And that's the whole thing, man. Like the whole thing is the hunt. So they're talking about we need to find a building. We can get... That's why I don't like it.
Yeah.
The reason I don't like it is because he says we need to find a building that we can go take over so that we can like set up our base of operations to hunt these turtles. And if it's the damn building that's on top of their sewer grate, I hate that.
Yeah. I don't
that's
think that's
why
the same
don't
building.
Do that.
But no, that's not the same building.
Why wouldn't you look at the building that was right where you landed?
Because
why would you be like, somewhere
that's a good
in Manhattan, we'll find a building.
That's a good point.
Like,
why wouldn't they just take over?
Building.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Why wouldn't they just take over that instead of finding?
That's why I like it.
Instead of finding this building, what about? What I mean, I guess the argument
finding a castle from a Hammer film.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Instead of finding like, I swear to God, I think Riff Raff ought to be in that top window. You know what I'm talking about? Like, darkness must flow. Like, why would you be there?
Right.
Why would you be there and not, the industrial warehouse you landed on top of that's about to have a turtle go up for some fresh air in about 3 minutes?
Right. This is the only reason they give is because this building hasn't been occupied in many years. But how do they know that?
It's true.
How do they know that?
It's true. How do you know that?
Did they look it up on? They didn't
have
the internet. Well, they did, but it was rudimentary. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? And
I get it.
So they weren't going on Zillow and being like unoccupied buildings in New York. Ooh, this one's a good one. Many years.
Yeah,
unoccupied.
No, it's true. It's true.
So, but no,
okay. So yes. So they find the castle factory, in Manhattan, and they get set up. Right.
Yeah.
And there's all this talk. I can't see the building without seeing Riff Raff in the top window. It's killing me. It's just, I feel like you should see like the drawn in lightning, like, like in the background, like, oh my God. Oh, that's like a meme in itself. So anyways, effectively that's what it is. The building hasn't been occupied in a bunch of years. The rank guy is doing all this like breakdown on like, and based on the condition of the building, it has not been occupied in some time. And I love it because Dragon Lord's like, get out of my goddamn face. I guess obviously there's cobwebs everywhere. I don't like you're the most worthless person.
Right.
And it's at this point that they're like, yeah, man, we need to go we're gonna make this thing into a bastion for us. We're gonna do all this stuff. And then your boy Dragon Lord's like, yeah, man, that all sounds great, but where's Wick?
Yeah.
Where's Wick at? Wick's got himself a dog. Tell me you got a picture of this. Thank you. Wick,
No
Wick,
reason. No reason.
Wick found the producer's dog.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, right?
That's what it is.
Wick
It has to
found
be.
the producer's poodle. And he's like, I'm going to eat this. And there is a good 5 minutes. And this tells you they're decompressing.
Oh, yeah.
There's a good 5 minutes on this whole run.
Yeah.
I do like, and you have it right here. I do like that Wick says, like, I found this animal leading a mortal by a leather strap.
Yeah, I love
pretty
that.
funny.
I loved that.
But yeah, he's like, I'm gonna eat it. And the Dragon Lord's like, don't make a mess in here. He's like, yeah, you're right. Gross. And like, he's like, get here, dog, get out of here.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, you
Okay.
know Wick ate the dog.
Oh, yeah.
Like just because Wick's like, oh yeah, you're right, boss. I don't want to make it. Get out of here. I'd never eat this dog. What are you talking about? Give me gas anyway.
That's what he says. Goodness.
You know Wick, like 10 minutes later, was like,
oh, yeah. Where's that dog?
bomb me at the
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
How many times have we eaten things that we know we're going to upset our stomach and you just go, well, guess I'll die.
Guess I'll, yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
All the time, every day.
So while all this is going on, he dispatches the rank to try to find the turtles or find a trace of them so they can begin their hunt. That's when the turtles decide to have a picnic in the park at dark. They love that.
They love this.
Man, they love being in the park in the middle of the night, dude. That is their jam. And I get it, because okay, I don't know if I'm just glowing this show up.
Yeah.
And tell me if you feel the same way.
Okay.
But I actually do like the fact that it feels like the show doesn't 100% acknowledge it, but I feel like they do a little bit of like, bro, if you lived in the sewer, you'd be up here too.
Yeah, they do. I agree. And I love it because it's think about it. It's the park at night. No one's going to be there. Well, and if they are, you could make the argument that they're probably like crazy or on drugs, or there's like I'm sure, and this is in New York, so there's people everywhere all the time, always, I'm sure. But it's less likely for someone to believe you and also see you at night in this stuff. So, yeah, but I agree with your point that, yeah, they'd probably want to be in the open and just like experience, going back to them being teenagers as well, like wanting something to get out from their house. So yeah, I really like all
true.
this.
I like this too, right? Because like I think a little bit, God, I can make any show sound great. One thing I like about it is, like I just realized I'm like, oh, I can find all kind of cool reasons I like this.
Yeah,
but I started making fun of it, which is funny, right? Here's one good benefit of being in Central Park at night, and being an anthropomorphic turtle or rat. The people that are actually out there messing around at night ain't gonna go to anybody about anything.
Oh yeah,
right. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like if you got the weird guy in a trench coat, freaking flashing people, do you think he's going to go to the police in just a trench coat and tell them he saw a turtle in the street? Right. Like
that was kind of my point that I was trying to make. Yeah. Yes. And
I like it. No, you're.
And the other thing,
it just take a while to sink in for me. Yeah, I like that.
Oh yeah. And the other thing is that how do you not know that these are just really good? What's the area where Times Square, like Times Square Elmos, like who's to say that this isn't just all the people in Times Square that are just like the superheroes dressed up and everything? How do you know that they're not, doing it here? So yeah, that's somewhere in there. That's a good reason to explain why they're out at night. But I'm a fan of it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's not like anyone's gonna indict them for being out there eating peanut butter weenies in the middle of the night. Like, who would do that? Like, Eric, have you ever been indicted?
No.
No, you haven't?
No.
That's cool. Neither have I.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Good, I think.
Feels really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Mikey's gonna stick with his peanut butter weenie. You know what I'm saying?
As you should.
And that happened. They're basically just having gross out food fest. You got Venus is grabbing up some pigeon eggs and feeding them to people. Eggs and egg, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Leo wants to throw up, but I'm kind of like, quail, pigeon. I'm not an egg scientist.
No.
Just part of me says there's probably not an egg you can't eat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Am I
true.
wrong?
No, probably
anyway,
not.
Everyone's laughing and having a good time, but it's fine because it turns out Dragon Lord shows up.
Oh, he does.
and he's like, got him, and he breathes fire.
Right.
And I like your question in the ticker I saw earlier. I mean, does breathing fire impress anybody anymore, or did Rammstein just kind of take it, and just kind of go with it? Like,
see, I it's not impressive anymore. Like in the 70s, I get Gene Simmons breathing fire and stuff. That shit, I gotta go see that.
Oh my god!
Now, if you're like, you gotta go see this band, they breathe fire. It's like, okay, I don't care.
Yeah, basically,
like, sure, all right, So
I mean, we're back in '97. It wasn't very played out. Now, Rammstein was making awesome music in 1997, but I don't think they had the scratch to run that breathing fire plan just yet.
No,
the flamethrower plan. I think that was post Duhas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But anyway, so so this is gonna lead to this is a Saban show, so you're gonna have your final fight, and it's gonna be in the grass, and here it is. So
it's true.
There's a lot of talk about stuff, but the biggest thing that needs to be kind of dropped here is that it turns out that your boy Dragonlord goes, it's cool that you brought me to New York, but what I would like to take from you is your mutations.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you talking about? Like you can't take it. How you gonna take that? How you gonna take what makes me me? And he's like, I'll eat you. And they're like, oh,
that'll do it.
That I hate that.
Yeah.
And because the turtles can't compromise on this.
Yeah, no, there's no halfway there.
There's no halfway point to being eaten. They decide that they're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get engage in fisticuffs. You know what I'm saying? Because Dragonlord is like, I need to become a mutant like y'all, because you guys got some pretty cool stuff going on. That way I can actually break down this realm and bring my dragon boys back. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, we're going to have to fight about this. That's what the turtle said.
That's what they said. They said they'll murderize you, actually, is what they said.
They will, and the fight starts.
It does.
And some fun things are said.
Some very fun things are said, Ryan. So you got your boy Leo. This is probably the funnest thing that was said. So your boy Leo does something where he jumps up around a tree or something, and he manages to get onto the shoulders of a rank weenies, apparently. And then he flips over, does something, and then the rank is like on his knees with his butt up in the air. And Leo says this, Ryan. Can you read that? My eyes are a little bad. It says,
feels like we're in court or something. It's like, would you read the statement? And you have to get in the mic really close and go, oh, looks like a plump booty call. and then the attorney's like, no. I don't think they could hear you all the way in the back, Mr. Guy. Mr. Guy, could you say it one more time, just loud enough so everybody can hear it? And then my attorney objects.
Yes, of course. Yes, because leading the witness.
Oh, looks like a plump booty call. He straight says that. It's in the subtitles.
Yeah.
Looks like a plump booty call.
So that's...
How did that make it? How did that make it past censors
in 97?
That is insane. In 97.
Yeah. No.
They must have not known what a booty call was.
Must not have. But then why was Leo saying that? Like,
why is that on Leo's mind, bro?
Yeah. Why?
So can you imagine fighting someone? I don't know. So I gotta watch my language here a little bit on the show nowadays, but the existence of a grudge bang.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Implies the existence of a grudge fight bang.
Oh, okay.
So you could want to beat someone's butt who's looking to eat you, but then also be like, I hate you so much, I'm attracted to you.
Right.
And then look and say, that looks like a plump booty call, but then still beat him up.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack there. Goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you got all the emotions going on, and then Donnie gets on his shell because it's mega shellage time. And
mega shellage time.
Yeah. They run the whole bowling thing with Donnie where they slide him down on his shell and knock over a bunch of rank. But yeah, and then
or as I call it, the lazy fastball special.
That's true. Yeah, the lazy that makes a lot of sense because it's super lazy and anyone can do that practically. So your boy.
Yeah, so I mean that's you are one ugly little mammal. So the fight kind of like winds up coming up to up to a peak here because the honestly they're getting the rank real good. Like the turtles, they're harder to fight. It looks like than the foot, right? They've definitely been upgraded, but like you can see this poor cat in the background right there.
Oh
that old rank. Your boy looks like he got kicked somewhere square in the groin, and he is like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Oh God, right." And your boy acknowledges, like Dragon Lord acknowledges, like, "Hey, y'all are pretty good for that." But I've got my foot on your master's chest. Like it's actually like right on his sternum, which is probably the place you want a foot the least.
Yeah.
And it's also a little, to me, a little symbolic. I know they didn't intend this, but it's a foot going down on, it's going to crush the rat. I think that's pretty great. And this is when Venus comes to save the day because nobody can go attack the Dragon Lord for some reason.
Yeah.
Because he's threatening. If you guys come any closer, I'll crush him. Right. Which he can. And Splinter's an old man. But then like Venus like takes like 2 stabs, like she needed like a warm up, and she uses what I can only like really describe as like psychokinetic power, channeled through her hands to lift up the Dragon Lord's feet. And I love the Dragon Lord because your boy is like, I don't know what's going on. Like he can't like square the fact that his feet are being lifted off the ground by a magic turtle woman. He just can't.
And this is a dude that's been in the dream world for like millennia or a billion years, and he can't fathom the idea of floating when he's like, it's weird. Like, I don't know.
So they're able to free Splinter because of that, and then they haul butt because they have to get out of there because it's real bad. And I like this part, like the rank are shown standing up like they're ready to fight again, which I appreciate because a lot of times it's like, oh, that guy's slowly getting up, he won't fight anymore. I'm like, no, he will. Like, just give him a second. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It was really funny today in the baseball game. Our catcher got hit with a foul tip in the groin. Like above his cup. It like hit like the actual groin, right? Like just below your belt.
Right.
Like, and he hits the ground sideways. He looked honestly a lot like that rank member actually, right?
Oh,
there.
Really?
And then I love it because he stood up and did the most prototypical, like, I gotta walk it off. Yeah. He literally walked like all the way past like the pitcher's mound, all the way around and back again. It's like, hey, just gotta walk it off, man.
Just walk it off. Just walk it off.
Yeah, he looked like that guy. So they retreat back and the turtles are defeated. You have them all talking. Splinter's trying to like make it okay. He's like, look, man, like, surviving is not losing, Michelangelo, right? There's a quote and stuff. And the turtles aren't feeling great about stuff. Like, and they're kind of left it to a little bit to an end of like, how are we going to defeat this guy? And then, at the very end, we see the Dragon Lord is hanging out with Wick, and gives him an assignment to make this demon brew bitterness that's supposed to make him invincible. And then, of course, Wick's like, it requires animals. He's like, go do it. Like, and like, have you eaten that dog that's in there yet? Like, because you're going to.
Right.
And then, he says, I like this. This is a great way to end the review. My first earthly meal shall be fresh, hot mutant.
Damn. There you go.
And I appreciate that because
why not?
The best meal I think you can get is the one where you pass up a one meal option that's quick and dirty to wait.
Oh yeah.
To eat a better meal. That meal is glory.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I do.
And your boy probably could have gotten some Mickey D's. He could have like, oh man, like let me get a hot dog in the microwave. There's probably 5 things he could.
There's street meat all over New York. He could have got some street meat
all over New York. Absolutely. And
he was just at a picnic. He was just at a picnic that was abandoned.
You know what? That's what it was. Oh, dude, you're so smart. That's what he passed up.
That's what he
passed
up.
All that like sandwich shit and like old peanut butter hot dog and like pigeon eggs everywhere. He goes, damn, I'm starving, dude. I could probably get down on some of that. He's like, no, I'm going to wait for that fresh hot mutant.
Exactly.
And it's worth it.
Yeah, from what I hear. But man, And that's
So what'd you
where it
think, man?
ends. Man, I
All told.
all
Quick
told,
summary.
all told, quick summary. I enjoyed the hell out of this. I thought this was really well done. Still very much Power Rangers, but that's my wheelhouse. I love that, and really, I like something in the Dragon Lord's vocals, like the way he talks and
Yeah.
stuff, really endears me to him, and I really like him. The rank are okay; they're fine, whatever. I
Yeah.
like the comedy relief that that Wick brings. I'm interested in this mutant stuff that they're wanting to do, and I think it's kind of cool because it's kind of like it reminded me of Bloodsucker, like sucking the mutagen out of Raphael in the books.
Oh yeah, no,
Something
good
similar
point. Yeah,
to
that is very similar. Yeah.
and but that he's interested, and I'm wondering if this is how they're going to bring the baddie of the week kind of thing, where they're going to just have different mutants that they're bringing in to try to do something. But I guess, is he going to eat them? Like, I don't know. I have a lot of questions about
That's his
this.
goal.
That seems to be his stated goal. Yeah, and
yeah.
But the fight scenes are cool, and just I'm really glad that they toned down Mikey's stuff, because the only thing I think he said was that when they were introducing her to Splinter was that she's babylicious or something, which is like, okay, that's
Something like that. Yeah,
that's fine, whatever. As compared to last episode, that was very tame. So
no,
that was
Michelangelo was practically dragging his ass on the floor. It was bad.
Exactly, all this dragon stuff. So yeah, but how did you feel about it?
Oh, I my first feeling when I got done watching it was like it felt like at first like a little bit of a nothing burger.
Yeah.
It sets up a lot of stuff. I think that the big things you could take away from this is, like, obviously you get to kind of see the Dragon Lord, right? Like, you get to actually hear him speak, see him move around, see him like fight a little bit. You can see him do some stuff. I'm a little critical of you killed Shredder and the Foot to create Dragon Shredder and Dragonfoot.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That feels a little bit like, I get that you want to like do something different, and this is just flush, but I kind of feel like let's then do something different.
Yeah.
I get it, because like it was Saban, and I'm sure like they were like, oh man, like a bunch of Foot Ninja, like that's gonna be great, and like, oh, we gotta do something different. Okay, the rank ninja,
right?
Still fun. That's a little weird, because I was kind of hoping that taking down Shredder and the Foot very symbolically would almost be a symbolical watershed. Like, you know what I mean? Almost like, yeah, we were really cleansing this show of that old, tired 87 animated series. It's always Shredder, blah, blah, blah. We're kicking that out of the curb, and we're doing a different villain for him to be literally armored like the Shredder, have a different origin story, and then still have basically Krang or a weird hungry Krang hanging around, and then also do the Foot Clan again. That was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how they're going to develop it, for sure, and I'm obviously not writing it off. And then it was me, the Dragon Lord, and Wake Splinter up. It felt like it could have maybe been put into the same episode as we go defeat Shredder. I don't know. But no, it was still fine. I liked it, and there's not much I didn't like it. I mean, obviously, I don't like the ponytail. We talked about that.
Yeah, we talked.
I don't like damn weird ass ponytail. That's making me shiver right now. Shuddering. And I don't love the fact that it looks like we just have a Shredder comic relief Krang and Foot Clan again.
Yeah.
But I'm very curious to see where they're gonna take it. But overall, not a bad watch. I wasn't annoyed. Just not as impressed as I was with the first couple.
Yeah, the first two hit a lot differently, but then again, this is the middle. This is like the right in the climax, I guess. But like, because it's a 5-arc story
climax.
But it's kind of a weak one, I guess.
But yeah, I don't really know what the stakes are. Like, right? Because if we're doing this is a 5-part situation.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle, right, of it. Like you're saying, it's supposed to be roughly where your climax is, or your big lead to the climax, right?
Right.
And Dragon Lord wants to eat you.
Yeah, it feels like if they could have saying the lead to the climax, I think that's definitely what this is, because then we're going to start to see how, because he's going to be the main threat, supposedly, from what we understand, the main bad guy, and that's
sure
we're going to see what his plan is, which is going to have something to do with mutants and making them and doing all this stuff.
Yeah,
and so that's probably going to be the climax, which we're probably going to see next episode, somewhere in there, the actual one. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still impressed with the show, surprisingly. Like I
Oh yeah. No,
enjoy
I
it.
didn't feel bad about it.
I
Yeah, no, I
enjoyed
mean
a
like
lot of it.
mhm.
And I hope
I
that
did.
it does what Saban normally does, or at least like what they're used to doing, especially with Power Rangers. Because I know that, you know, obviously Sentai does a lot of this too. But there's a lot of you have antagonists that aren't necessarily bad guys, but they're aligned with the bad guys at times, and then they can switch sides or play different teams and whatnot. And it's just this ancillary or other third party that is that's around. And because I've seen different images, well, you see them at the beginning of the show, like during the credits, you see a couple different characters that I'm like, that doesn't look just like a lackey. That looks like another boss type character.
Yeah, like
And
another main villain. Yeah.
right. And so I'm very interested to see how they're going to do that, because Saban and Sentai do that a lot with different things. And that's always a big thing for me. Like, because it gives this, it's not just a formulaic 87 kind of, like bad guy of the week is fine. But like, and then you have your main Shredder stuff. But like, there's something more to it, if that makes any sense. And, and I appreciate that, because a lot of times they make these costumes and they're like, we need to get as much out of them as we can. And so, yeah, I don't know. But overall, I'm still enjoying it. It was one of the weaker ones of the ones we've seen. But, it's nothing to... I want to keep watching them.
Yeah. You can tell that they try to throw a little bit of like an all is lost here to make it kind of the middle of an arc, right? Where you've got like the Turtles come back from fighting the Dragon Lord and they're defeated. And there's a lot of talk of like, survival is not losing and all this different stuff. And it's kind of like, it feels like it wants to pull some of those threads of that all is lost. But you got to lose a lot more, because they just kind of lost. They're eating a sandwich, and then like they went, ooh, this fight sucked, and they walked away. They still have Splinter, right? They still have all these things that they just fought to get. They didn't lose anything.
They didn't.
Except trying to get a hold of a way to beat him or trying to understand it. But but like, anyways.
But
enough criticism.
Real quick.
It's just
that's a great point. And what would have made this better? I didn't even think about that until you started saying it, because you articulated it, what I was feeling. I just didn't know how to say it. It feels like they want to do that, but they don't really. But what would have made it happen is if Splinter did an Obi-Wan thing where he kind of sacrificed himself, but then he still comes back, because they've already introduced all the spiritual stuff. So why not have a spirit Splinter? And that could have probably given the weight that this needed, and that would have like really put this over the top for me.
Yeah, I think it would have too. It might have been annoying because they just got him back to like lose him again,
true.
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you could also turn the screw on that. You could make that like if you're writing that, or you're thinking about that, and you feel like, oh, that's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Then like use it that way in the show.
Right.
Then you could do that. You could make the Turtles feel like, I can't believe we just got him back and we just failed him again.
Yeah.
Like, how obnoxious is that, right? Like, how awful. What did we do wrong? All these like soul searching questions about, we keep failing Master Splinter again and again and again. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
They could have run that, but I feel good about the next episode, because they've kind of gotten it all out of the way. The Dragon Lord's in the realm now with us. The Turtles and Venus and Splinter have all met now, and they're little family. Everybody's cool now, right? So next episode is when we start getting into maybe more plot and less setup and more like active plot of, okay, what's the story going to be here?
Right.
You know what I
mean? I'm actively looking forward to it. I've enjoyed this. So yeah. What do y'all think? Did you enjoy this? Do you like the Dragon Lord? Do you prefer him to Shredder? What are your thoughts on this? Like, do you like your peanut butter weenies, or do you like your plump booty calls? We want to know. turtlesoupshow@gmail.com and let us know what your definitions are of this. Have you used mega shellage in any of your everyday vernacular? Like, is that a thing in your part of the woods? Definitely let us know. And then, if you want to listen to more of us, find us on the home of the internet, turtlesoupshow.com. You can also find us on the social medias. We're pretty much almost everywhere. And you can join the Facebook group while that's still a thing. It's really cool, and a lot of people are there, and we share a lot of stuff.
What's with while that's still a thing?
Because you never know. All these people mad about Facebook and TikTok and all this stuff. It's
that
weird.
was really that was like ominous as hell.
Ominous. You don't know. And so do you want to I'm trying to get the FOMO going on where you're like, fear of missing out. Like, you need to be there.
Right. Oh,
because you don't.
Yeah. No, they might. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. They might. They don't know what Michelangelo's David is. They might take away Facebook. You never know.
Exactly.
Like, so, it's crazy.
Right. We're very familiar with Michelangelo and his David. So, and if you'd like to get familiar with both of those, you go Turtle Soup on the Facebook groups, and then
go to Turtle Soup Facebook group.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you dive pillow. Obviously, duh. So cold.
Cold, bro, cold.
And then if you want to hear more of us, be sure to go to patreon.com. You can throw us $1 and you get access to about like 100 hours or more of us just talking about all kinds of stuff. Seriously. And you can work your way up and do all kinds of stuff with some more money and get some more cool stuff from us that we make, and that helps us, keeps us from saying clang, and to where we don't have to go looking for street meat, and where we don't have to. We still do, but we don't have to. We're not resorting to it.
Everyone does. If you eat meat, you go on the street and look for that hot meat.
Right.
You're doing that. But
you are doing that.
But functionally, yeah.
Right. Yeah, of course. So, yeah. So we can afford different rooftops. And so we're not using the same rooftops, because that's amateur podcasting, obviously.
Yeah.
And so Patreon helps us out a lot. So thank you for all of our patrons that have done that. And so again, let us know what you thought. turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. And until then, we'll be back.
Until then, don't be like a baby who cries, and we'll see you else time.